So I would expect that there'll be some additions. Again, I don't know how significant, but at least on paper. But we continue to talk to teams. Obviously, we haven't made a trade at this point. We continue to discuss those possibilities. Trade could happen. It may not happen. So as I often say, we'll just see how it turns out.
How has the first base market changed since last week?
Well, it's smaller, both in terms of both on the supply side and the demand side, and actually that's probably a good thing because there's more clarity to the options, both trade partners and alternatives. So we're still talking to a number of teams. But again, I can't say anything will happen. For example, if we were not to get what we wanted in return, we'd have to think of other options, which would be to wait or to even go into spring training with so see what happens.
Sandy, what do you want to return? Is there something you target?
Well, I don't. If we were to trade a first baseman, I think there are. There are fair comparables that in the market. What's already transpired, probably a reasonable expectation.
Do you have any thought of posting a bid for Tanaka or whatever, making a bid for Tanaka?
I think it's very unlikely. Thanks for asking the $64,000 question.
You've been happy with the way, I guess, Daniel Murphy has developed as a second baseman over these past couple of years, or are there things you still want to see him get better at?
Well, no, I think he's done a very nice job at second base, not a natural second baseman. We've asked him a lot, and he's responded defensively. So I think we've accepted whatever limitations exist, but he continues to work at it, and hopefully he'll continue to get better.
Is he, if you don't find another person to take that leadoff spot, could he lead off, or does he not walk enough?
It's tough to have a leadoff man with a .310 on base percentage. So you're right, he doesn't walk enough. I think he knows that. So maybe that'll change.
Is the reality of Tejada as the opening day shortstop, is that becoming more likely?
Well, I think it is more likely, certainly, than it was a couple of months ago, let's say. But we've improved the team at other positions, and so giving Ruben a chance to reestablish himself as an everyday player isn't such a bad thing. But we'll continue to monitor what's there, both in the trade market and conceivably free agency, although there really isn't much left there.
Are there options trade-wise? Multiple options?
I don't think so. There are 2 or 3 teams that have possibilities.
The longer you wait with the first base situation, does that affect the market? Does it help to act quickly with trading either Ike or
sometimes it helps to act quickly. Sometimes it doesn't.
In this instance, I mean, would you prefer to get something done?
No.
Before too late?
We're not anxious about it.
How do you balance that, like wanting to move quickly but wanting to find the right player? I mean, how do you balance that as a general manager?
Sometimes you don't have any choice. If the opportunity presents itself early on, then great. If it doesn't, then you have to wait. So sometimes those choices are outside your control.
With Tanaka, is it the price tag you think would be too much, or is it just not an area of need because of the rotation?
Well, it's not an area of extraordinary need. I obviously you'd love to have a quality pitcher anytime one became available. But again, realistically, I don't think that it's an area of weakness at this point.
Do you anticipate still maybe getting back in the rotation?
I think we'd like to, but I don't know that we want to get someone who precludes some of our young starting pitchers from competing for that spot, which means that people we bring in will have to compete with those young guys, and that might mean a minor league deal.
Sandy, post-agreement match yesterday, what do you think that fixed release fee is going to do to the market for those elite players? I mean, obviously you would expect a lot of teams to now be much more involved.
I think more teams will be involved. I think what will happen is the posting fee has gone down, the compensation of the player will go up, and that's good for the rest of baseball because it impacts the luxury competitive balance tags. So I think it'll be interesting to see whether the total dollars go up or go down. There's a reallocation between the posting club and the player, unless the player and the club come to some arrangement. I don't know. So
I mean, with the market for free agent pitching this year, Sandy, with not supposed to be, I don't think you would anticipate the contracts to be shapers to go crazy.
could be.
I think Terry said that Bobby Parnell had a doctor's appointment this week, checkup maybe to get
No,
cleared.
he's actually going to be seen by Dr. Watkins in early January in California, but he may also be seen by our doctors here in New York for just a general once over in the next couple of weeks, but that's not scheduled.
Are you fairly confident that there won't be any issues or it's unresolved?
I guess there's a difference between fairly confident and unresolved. Yeah, we're fairly confident. I mean, everything that I hear, he's regained the weight and he's about to start throwing again, and we don't anticipate any problems. But that's one of the reasons we're going to have him come back up to New York to be seen, not necessarily for a surgical follow-up, but just an overall review. But right now, we don't have any reason to believe he won't be ready.
If he's not, with what you saw from Vic Black, would he be in consideration at all?
Well,
Or was it too little?
let's just see what develops with our bullpen. Still got 5-6 weeks to go. But if Parnell were not available, there's not a lot of other experience in the bullpen.
Do you look at Cologne as your ace going into this year, or is that Zach? Or do you?
I look at him as a great addition to an otherwise solid 3 starters. I'd rather not put a label on him at this point. That who starts opening day may be will probably be determined in spring training, but certainly he'd have, based on what he did last year, he'd be under strong consideration.
What gave you the confidence?